Today's topics I want to cover about the primitive data types and their methods. Okay, so some comparison bitwise operator, the logical operators, or you know multiple things about number, multiple things about string, boolean, and the methods of them, how to work with strings and everything. So out of the list I have is the number. Okay, you guys ever wonder what is console is? Console is a JavaScript REPL interface to run JavaScript. Okay, what is REPL? Okay, what is REPL? REPL is an acronym for read, evaluate, print, and loop. So what is this? I'm typing a content. Hello world. This is a string, as we discussed in the last session. So you're right. That's good. I should say word, not word. Okay, good. So yeah, when I hit it, what's happening? It is reading it, evaluating it, and printing the value. So the entire statement value is undefined because I'm not returning anything. In the last session, as we discussed, each JavaScript statement, unless you explicitly say that return this item, return this word, it will not return any value. Each JavaScript statement value would be undefined. Okay, but the statement itself not undefined, but the value of that statement is undefined. So now if I say hello, it will print me the value inside hello. So this is not, the undefined is not hello value. This undefined is the value of entire statement. The entire statement does not return anything, give anything return to you. It will just takes care about its business and dies. So REPL is this. If you give one input, it will read it, evaluate it, store it, and again ready to take your command. It is like a soldier. Okay, if a major or a lieutenant or a commander gives an command to that sergeant, what the sergeant will do, he will go and perform his duties and come back and report that the work is done, and he'll stand fast for the next command to take. Understood? So REPL is the same interface for JavaScript runtime. So here you are the commander, you are giving an input, it will execute it, it will report the status of that particular work and stand fast for next command. So that is called REPL. Is this clear? Any questions? Here is my JavaScript engine. How do you interact with this engine? Of course, if you give a HTML document, entire script is being, JavaScript is being picked and given it to you, and it is evaluating and giving it back to you. But JavaScript alone can run outside of browser. That is the capacity of JavaScript that you need to understand. So what you can do, what people actually did, They moved JavaScript outside of the browser. They picked, initially JavaScript was built and plugged into the web browsers code, but there is a specific engine called V8 engine, V8 JavaScript engine. Sorry, this is Ford V8 engine, not, I guess so, JavaScript engine. So V8 JavaScript engine. This engine is part of Chrome and Safari as well, I guess. So what this engine will do, simply, if you have given a JavaScript, it will execute. So it will basically have a REPL input or file input. If you give that input, it will process you and give you this value of that input, simply. So the same happens. V8 engine is part of Chrome to run your JavaScript. Is this part clear?
Yes.
Good. So what is CSS engine? I think for Microsoft it is Trident. No. So each browser has a different CSS engine. WebKit for Chrome, it is WebKit. Microsoft, it is Chakra. I believe it's Chakra. For Microsoft, it is, right now it is Edge. Before that, it is Chakra. Okay, Chakra was JavaScript engine of Microsoft. What was Trident then? So all weapon names, they use all weapon names. Trident engine. Okay, this is Microsoft HTML engine. Trident is MS HTML. Trident is kind of Microsoft's HTML engine. What are the CSS engines? Nah, I need names. Okay, now it is good. Good. WebKit, Active, Blink, Edge, Gecko. Gecko for, I think Edge for Microsoft, Blinks for Opera, Gecko is the name of CSS engine of Mozilla Firefox, WebKit for Chrome and Safari, Blink for Opera, and Edge HTML for Microsoft. So these three engines make a browser. Without any of the engine, browser will not be a browser. So the V8 engine is the JavaScript engine for Chrome. Okay, three components of this browser: V8, WebKit, and I don't know what's HTML engine for Chrome, but these three engines have made the browser of Chrome. So somebody, so it's a Google project, so they made it open source. This engine is open source. So if you give any JavaScript for this engine, it will execute and run it. So can I try it somewhere? I think no, I think I cannot directly try this, but so they make V8 or they make V9, V10, they continue to develop this engine with new features and new things, and each browser update version, they will pack this engine updates and they ship that updates to things. So some smart guy bring that outside and made it open source. You can download it and you can develop anything with it. Okay, you can actually download it. Download V8, you can say. You can check out the code. You can go to this repository and you can check out this code with this git link, and you can start contributing to it. You can also give commands to your HTML V8 engine. You can supply, you can code it. But enough of that talk. So why I am talking about V8 engine is V8 engine can run with or without the browser. With or without the browser, V8 engine can run, and V8 engine can command or process the JavaScript input. That is the main reason you can run your you can run your JavaScript in here and see the JavaScript is executing. There is an error because it was not defined. So same way how you write your script in HTML, you can write here and you can execute them and see. See, I have written this code. This is the piece of code. I'm asking it to process. It is processing and giving me an output here, 10 loops. I've written the statement to loop it 10 times and print me a second table. So you can write the script without help of, you don't have to write the script in HTML only. You can write it here. Also, you can, so somebody, some nice guy made it V8, externalized the V8 engine, and another smart guy actually took that V8 engine and created Node.js. Okay, what is a Node.js? Node.js is an environment around the V8 engine, so that you can try this engine and you can install this engine.
Sorry to interrupt, but there is a slight static sound while you speak.
Is it okay now? Is it coming?
I think when you speak continuously.
Okay, let me know if it so happens. Is it happening now?
No, it's good now.
No issues.
Let me change the mic. How about now? Is it okay? No static noise or anything. I'm testing and I'm trying to speak something so that you can hear and let me know if the cracking sound is still coming. Okay,
No, it's good.
let me know if it has happened. So you can install this V8 engine, JavaScript engine in your local browser. You don't have to write the JavaScript in browser. So you can install this app. Fingerprint not working. I guess I have to give password. Okay, I have installed the 16.15.0 version. Okay, good. You can either install this guy, or you can do what you can do. You can try it logging it, writing your, you can write this your JavaScript here as well. If you wanted to write as JavaScript that you don't want your don't want to write HTML or anything, so much so You don't have to deal with everything. Okay. So now I just wanted to move away from HTML for a while, because many of the time my goal is here. My goal is to teach you JavaScript. But if I confuse you with lot of things around HTML, okay, the goal will be lost. So what should be the goal? Should be the goal to write JavaScript only. So since, sorry, cancel. I was about to close this entire meeting. Okay, since my goal is not browser or anything, since my goal is only create, okay, only to run JavaScript. Now it's time we go black and white. Okay, go to terminal. Once you install Node.js, go to your terminals. Okay, let me bring back my terminal from other monitor that I opened. Okay, this is the, so nothing makes sense right now. Whatever you give, nothing makes sense. So what you have installed on your machine, you installed Node.js. The command to activate your Node.js is this node. Okay, soon after you said node, just once you install node, go to your terminal, or your, if you are on Linux, go to your terminal. If you are on Windows, go to your command window and hit say the command node. So if anyone wants to write down the command, write down node node. You should install the node software first, nodejs.org. So this is not a new technology, guys. Remember, we just wanted to learn only JavaScript. Doesn't want to be bothered by HTML or what we are, how this is connecting to HTML or anything. We just want to do a want to learn data operations, or we just wanted to learn what is JavaScript. So let us only focus on running JavaScript only. Okay, let's not worry that we are running something else or browser, or is it loading there, elements able to pick up. All those worries are later. So once you know JavaScript properly this week, we will go back to browser and understand. Until that part, let us try to run our JavaScript here. Okay. Okay. Now, where? Now there is no document. If you see, it doesn't know what is the document itself is, because the document or window or whatever that was there now detached from this JavaScript runtime environment. This runtime environment is this. Okay, so this is JavaScript only, the JavaScript object only. So let me, yes, I have to exit here. Then if you wanted to start, right, Node.js. Now REPL, read, evaluate, print, loop environment is active like a console in your browser. Now you can write some JavaScript here, where lunchbox. I'm a foodie, I always talk about lunch, guys. So I always worry about lunch, like what is there in the lunch. I kind of pass on a lot of instruction to how to cook each and every day. That's a different question. So I don't want to cook myself. I want to cook some rice. Okay, rice. Okay, this is a written command. Now if I enter it, this is actually read, and the lunchbox value is ready for me to consume. Okay, like you created and keeping everything ready. Now if I wanted to create a function hello world, function and shift enter. Never, oh my God. So it's a one line thing. So I'm adding it console.log. Oh my God, Ganesh. So if you wanted to ever call that function, this is how you call. Okay. GAE, the log statement, and the value of the function, you haven't written anything in that function. Now I'm changing the function itself again. I'm again creating that function that will replace the existing scope. So I'll say return statement value. You need to understand the difference. Okay. You need to understand the statement value and see, this is the log inside this. This is the return value. So if you execute this method, the method value would be this. You're saying the method value, the method should execute and give the value. So why do I have to have a return value? Let's say you created a function. Why return is important? Let's say function add numbers. You're taking a comma b and you're adding a plus b. Okay. Now if I call add number and pass in 2 comma 3, I enter. I don't know what, see, the operation was happened. A plus b is added, but how would I know that what is the result of it? Okay. So you should write the function like this. A comma b, return, give it back a plus. Now function is replaced. Add numbers. When you say 2 comma, see, if you don't send anything, the value is not a number. If you say 2 comma 3, the value is 5. You get it? So the return value will decide what is the result of what should be sending return. Now I can say where or let added numbers is equals to add numbers 2 comma 5 console.log added numbers. See, this statement value is null, so that is undefined because in this function there is no return, but for this function there is a return 7, and this is been the return value is stored in added nums because we said whatever is on the whatever prints on the right hand side will be moved to the left hand side, and then I logged that here. You understood? Any questions here? Okay, fine. Sorry, Shravan. I haven't seen that sooner. I hope now it is better. So, oh my God, should I have to write my entire code like this? No, you don't have to write your code entirely here. Okay. You can write in JavaScript files and execute with the help of Node. So let me come out of this, clear this. Okay.
Ganesh, how are you clearing that? When I type clear, it's not clearing.
So what is the version? I mean, you have to come out of node.
Oh.
Control C, hit Control C, and then say clear. Clear is a command for the terminal, not for the.
Oh, I see.
Okay, now I can write JavaScript in a file and run that file here in the terminal. Okay, I can give a file as an input for my REPL. Okay, so let me create a file. How can I do that? Okay. Create a file. Where should I'm thinking, where should I create my file? Probably on desktop, so that you guys can see. Can you see if I create a desktop? No, because I have. Okay, let me create it here. Let me open the Skibble Shoot Week5 JS type, and let me create a JavaScript file here. JS, and let me remove the index.html because we don't want to practice JavaScript this way. Okay, we want to practice JavaScript alone. Okay, so I have created a JavaScript file in Week5 JS deep dive directory, but where is my terminal is present working directory, PWE. See, so this guy is on this location. If you could see project in the Ganesh folder, project work Skibble Shoots Week5 deep dive, that there is the file location is different. Where is this terminal pointer? This pointer, it is in the folder called Ganesh Kumar. So if I say list my files here, it is actually listing everything for me here. Then I see a project folder called here. So this is inside project, there is a folder called work. Inside work, there is a folder called Skibble Shoots, and inside that there is a folder. This is folder. So if I list the contents of my current directory, present working directory, these are all the content. Okay. Now change the directory cd, change the directory to projects. Okay. You don't have to type the entire word. You type 3 letters and hit tab. Okay. If you hit the tab, it will give you the entire directory name that is available in the current directory. So basically, this guy is, and let me go here. So here he is in this folder, because you can see all these folders are here. So now if I go to projects, now it is in the projects folder. Now I will list, guys. Projects again, Camtasia, desktop, document, images, desktop, document, images, projects, work. Everything is here. Okay. Now, where is my folder? My folder is in work. So cd work ls. Now I am in work. Then I have to go into Skibble Shoots. cd Skibble Shoots. I'm hitting the tab, just typing 2 letters and hitting the tab. Now the pointer is in Skibble Shoots. Here, I should go into Week5. So I should say change the directory week. If I say week, there are so many weeks here. Okay, I should say Week5. Not matching because W is capital. If I hit the correct tab, if the spelling is correct, if I hit the tab, it will give me complete name. Now if I hit ls, here is my app.js. Now it is able to find it. Now here, here came at this location is open for terminal. You can avoid all this stress by simply opening the particular folder in VS Code and go here and click on terminal. If you click a terminal, once you open your file folder like this in here, you can click terminal, and your terminal's present working directory is Week5 deep dive. So simple. You open your terminal and go to view and say terminal, and your terminal is, you can open as many terminals as you want. Terminal is a way to, so for terminal is an interface for your system. Node is an interface for JavaScript. Okay, Ganesh, I'm excited to know about how can I run my JavaScript code. I'm coming there. So this and this both are same, guys. Don't get confused, since it is very hard for me to navigate. So one more thing, let me cover it. Okay, you understood with CD, you can go in deep into your folders. How can I come back out of the folder? Okay, you say change the directory, go back one step, dot, dot. If you say Week5 was in Skibblechute, let me go there. Week5 was in Skibblechute. Now it is in Skibblchute's folder. One more folder, dot, dot. Change the directory, same command. If you wanted to make a directory, see, cd Skibblechutes ls cd Week5 jsdev ls, or there is only one file. Now let me go here. If I wanted to make a directory, the command is mkdir. Mkdir, give that folder name. Okay, no? Say test folder. See, test folder is created. So basically, with your terminal, you can give certain commands to your browser, something like this, and it will create. So basically, you can do certain operations from your terminal as well. It is the same thing with Node as well. You can do some commands of JavaScript with some. So it is very important for you to learn the basic bash commands to, kind of get familiar with you can create folder, you can delete a folder from here, you can do so many things. Okay, as a developer, you need to understand everything, understand all these concepts. So I suggest you to where is my browser, man? I'm trying to open a browser, but it's not. Okay, yeah. So if you are using Windows, go and learn about Windows commands. So there are super good commands that you can do, at least if you could know these 16 commands or 7 whatsoever important commands. So this is asking me to become a member, but fine. Maybe. So if you are not a Mac user or a Linux user, you can install Git bash. If at all you are a Windows user, come here, and if you have installed Git, your Git bash might have already installed, and if you right click, you will see a Git bash panel there. Click that Git bash, and that will open up a terminal, and you can. So I would have given a demo, but I don't have that Git bash with me because I kind of have bash ready for me to use out of system itself. So go to learn bash commands. Everybody learn bash commands So some of the basic commands like ls, okay, echo or touch, make directory. Touch is a command to create a file. Like mkdir is a command for making a directory. Touch is a command to create a file. So it's like this. So in the Week5 drive, let me open this thing here. I can say touch ganesh.js. It'll create a file for me with ganesh.js. So that is a command. You need to have, just fancy these commands once. That's what I ask. Okay, you can do a man. You can filter your files. You can search through your files. Okay, so all this pwd gives where your command terminal is. When you say pwd, this is what the current location of my terminal is. If you don't know where is your cursor or command bash, you can type in the pwd like that. So I want you guys to understand everything that is out of this sheet. That is very important if you are going for a developer career. Okay, so I ping that link in the Skibble server. So make sure you go through that list. If you wish to go to a video, you can go there. But Windows user who doesn't have a git bash, you search for git bash and install this one, and you will get git bash, and you can open that git bash and run bash commands, and it will still work on Windows. So enough of that, gang. Bash is important. Learn about bash, because you want to work with this command for a while, and you need to know those commands. You need to keep them handy. So I always keep them handy. So I don't have the need for this guy. Now I've created. So now I don't need this, because my terminal, the same terminal here where I opened here, is actually here as well. Now, see why I've actually thought to you guys this mode is that it is simple. You write it, you test it here. I mean, going back to the window, opening console is a really hassle for me. Okay, the real purpose of the session is getting lost. So I can write some JavaScript like this. Okay. I'm still writing JavaScript. Where or let my name is the variable Ganesh. Let my age let's make it unrealistic. Okay. Now I'm writing my JavaScript just like I'm writing it for browser. Okay. Console.log. And I'm saying I'm concatenating some of the Ganesh plus add this plus my name is Ganesh. My age is size container. Am I an Indian citizen? Okay. Now I have written my JavaScript. Okay. I formatted my JavaScript. I created 3 different variables. I concatenated them with a plus sign. I've added them here and I logged it here. Now it's time I run this script in a JavaScript environment. Remember, we installed Node, which is JavaScript environment. So you could, the command is Node. It is in the same file. If you remember, if I say ls, it is giving me this file. That means this file is readily available on that particular folder. So I say node app.js. What is happening, guys? Can anybody explain?
It's executing the output from the console.
It is Node is acts as an engineer, so it is executing app.js.
Yeah, Node is taking up this input and understands that there is a JavaScript file I need to run. It runs this code and quits. See, my name is Ganesh because it's this. Let me change it. So you can write your JavaScript and execute with Node. You give Node and you give the location of your file and it will execute your file and give you the input. That's nice. That's nice to know. So what I can do with it. Okay. So you can have a large number of data here and you can filter them through and return it. So you can plug in this. So there are, you know, we will cover as we move. Okay. So we know about string, we know about number, we know about Boolean, array, we know very basic things. Okay. There are a lot of things that we need to understand about these primitive types. There are so many things inside them that we need to unlock. So let us unlock each of them one by one. It is 8:30. It's already 1.5 hours we started. We have 1.5 hours more, and that is really enough for me. So let's take a quick 7 minutes break and let us join. If you are interested, you can practice the same thing. You can ask me questions. You try to install Node and let me know if it is not working. Let's take 10 minutes break. Let's reconvene at 8:45 and try it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, install it and try these commands I've just explained you. And if you have any challenge right after the break, I'll talk to you individually and solve that problem so that you are enabled for the homework. Okay. Hope that is fine, guys. Guys, as I said in the before we go into break, so we do know different data types like numbers, strings, booleans, you know, undefined, null, so many things. Okay, but we don't know anything, you know, deep about it. So you need to understand a lot of you know, things, lot of things about individual things because they are your friends. You need to understand. So first, let us try to understand what is a number. So basically, in any other programming language, remember this one thing. Okay, this was a very important line. In any programming language, you ought to create a variable with its type declared by you. So something like this, where, if you say where my number should be number, a new number, so if you create like this only in other programming languages like Java, so something similar like this will be there. So if you are creating a variable, you have to write this entire script to create a number. Why this strict thing? Because if you create a variable for number and started using that for calculation purposes, if someone puts a string in it, your entire calculation goes wrong. Your entire application goes wrong. But in JavaScript, that is not the case. So there is a case called coercion. So coercion, what is coercion? Anyone wants to share? So basically, if you just put a number like this, it will convert that. If you just say it will convert that type to number. So there is a way that we can check the type of a particular variable. Okay, you can say type of that particular variable. I hope it should give number. So I don't assign this value. Now if I see, that is undefined. Okay, it's not an error. The value is undefined. There is a variable, but the value is undefined. Undefined is also a type. Now, if I put a string, variable is my num, but if I put a value as string, the type is becoming automatically string. In other programming languages, you explicitly say this is a string, you explicitly say this is a number. But in JavaScript, you don't have to say that. This is kind of a feature, and at the same time, it's a biggest curse for JavaScript. So it made JavaScript awesome. Same time, this feature or this bug, I don't know what to call it. This thing called caused chaos. At sometimes this thing cleared a lot of problems for us. Okay, so our focus is numbers to understand numbers first. Okay, so if there is a what is the amount? What is the amount? 100,000?
Lakh.
1 lakh. So in US we say 100,000. Is it 100,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is 100,000. Yes, 1 lakh in India. We call it 1 lakh in India. So if I say 1 lakh, that's the value in it, and you can still put separations like this. You can put it will still consider as 1 lakh, because so the underscore is kind of a visual separation to for the developers or for the ones who code the coding. You can differentiate. If you are writing some numbers, you can have that what do we call delimiter. The delimiter, you can make out what is the number, what is a total numbers. With underscores also, you can create variables. And where my num equal to, you can create absolute decimals. Okay, not everything in numbers, right? 1 2 3 straightforward numbers, right? At times you see numbers like this. So this, if you log the type of this, the only problem or so it is still a number. So in other programming languages, you see types called decimals, negative decimals, positive decimals. So there are so many types in other languages, but JavaScript is just simplified by saying it's a number. That's it. So those are the three ways you can create numbers. You can straightforward put a number like this. You can visually delimit them. The underscore is not a thing for JavaScript. It's still considered as a 1 lakh with underscore, and this is also a number. All of them are type of number. Okay, so how do I work with numbers? Okay, are there any other things? So math is an object that is available in JavaScript by default, which comes with a lot of methods in them. Okay, to perform calculations. Okay, lot of methods. Okay, let us look at some of them to understand. I don't know some of the methods personally. I mean, but whatever I used a lot, I do know them. But and let us talk about them. So one of them is math.round. So always remember, guys. Okay, if there is a box of chocolates, let's say there are 2 chocolates in a box. Okay, what would you say to your friend or kid to get a chocolate for you? You would say, there is a box, find the box, open it, take a chocolate and bring it back to me. That's what you say, right? You open the box, you get a chocolate and come back to me. So math is box of few chocolates that you could use to work with numbers. Okay, so I'm going with, so don't think me otherwise. So I'm just going to an analogy, real-time analogy that you can understand what is a object and what is that I'm doing right now. So and imagine this is my box of chocolates, and if I want a certain chocolate from that box, you say dot. So if you put a dot, the JavaScript allows you to go inside and pick a chocolate that you can use. For now, I want to use round. What is round is kinds of. So let me put it here. So this is a decimal I have here. Okay, 4.4444, which is, round is kind of rounds up the value to the nearest value. So if it is 4.5, the nearest value would become 5. Or if it is 4.3, the nearest will become 4. So basically, if you run it, 4.4444 is not above 5, but definitely below 5. So it rounds up and gives you 4. Okay, even if it is this value, this will give you, it will ignore whatever below 5. So if it is above 5, it rounds up and gives you the next number. Okay, it was 6 before, and since it is now 666, now it is giving you the 7. So it rounds up, and so you need this kind of methods when you're actively working with JavaScript. You at times you need to take some decisions, like if someone says, the temperature is around 96.6666 Fahrenheit, you definitely wouldn't say that to the user, right? For your user, you say 96. Oh damn, what is 666? Let's say 97. So you want to make sense out of numbers at sometimes. At that point of time, you use these methods will come into handy. Okay. So now, if you don't want that 6 to go to 5, if if you want something else to happen, okay, like whatever the number it is here, just ignore it and print me this, give me this value. You could use a method called math.flow. Okay, console.log math.flow. If I clear, if I run, let me put it a single number so that you'll be able to identify. It's still 5, no matter what. If we give 999, it is still 5 for the math.flow. Okay, so it's rounds down the number, no matter whatever the decimal is, it rounds down the number. There is another method called seal. Okay, seal actually rounds up. Okay, if I have 5.11111, this will rounds up it, so it will, no matter whatever the decimal is, it actually rounds up to 66. Somebody joining now. Karthik, hope you have had your breakfast, coffee by now.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Karthik.
Yes. Actually, my internet is not
Yeah,
stable.
I
That's
understand.
why.
I was about to say your internet is unstable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is C. Okay. So there is another method called if at all. Okay. You ought to find out a minimum number of a certain list. Okay. Let's say 5, 6, 7, 7, 2. If math.min, okay, is a method that will give you the minimum of the number. So what is the minimum of this list? This is the minimum of that particular list. So that will give you a list. If you ever to find out that what is the minimum, what is the maximum out of that is like the least performer or the best performer, you can get with this method. Okay, same way you can do with max. I can tag it like this. I can put a comma. I can say max and put a comma in the console log. I can join these two statements and put min. Right? Minimum is 2, maximum is 7. That's correct. Right? In this statement, the minimum is 2. In this statement, the maximum is 7. If I add 8, minimum is 2, maximum is 8. Okay. So next important thing for you is random. Okay, random, pretty handy. A lot of times the math.random comes you very handy, like math.random. Okay, this method, guys, if you already know it and if I'm wasting your time, let me know, because we have big list. I just started. If you already know all of these things, let's cut to the chase. If some of you don't know, let's move ahead. If you want me to continue, just hit the thumb button. Okay. Okay, Kranti, thank you. I have one thumbs up. No thumbs ups. Fine. Okay. Math.random actually prints a random number between 0 and 0.999999. Okay. So if I run this, each time I run this, make sure that it is generating a different number. It is the same method, but gives you the random number. Each time you run that method, each time you run, there's a new number randomly being generated. You might ask me, why would I need it? Trust me, you need it very well. So here, now I can put a multiply and say 11. Okay. 8, 9, 10. So I'm trying to generate, if I say 11, what is happening is a random number will generate, but the random number will be between 1 to 10, because whatever comes out of this random, I'm multiplying with 11. So I can say math dot round. I can put that math dot random in it, clear it, and if I print now 2, 5, 7, 10, 3, 1, 2. So each time I'm getting a number.
Random number will be only between 0 and 1.
No,
mean-
random number will be only between 0 and 99.9999999.
Okay.
6 numbers. So I'm actually multiplying that value with 11. So that is kind of says 10.999, 10.1, 10.4, 10.5, but never above 11, 10.5, because the random value will only generate until 0.999. So, okay, if I'm talking too much science, this is the way that you can generate a random number between 1 to 10. If you want 100, you could say 100. If you want between 100, you can get that number between 100. 42, 16, 82, 55, 45. So whatever the number you get, this will give you 99. Between 1 to 99. Between 1 to 99. Okay, fine. Okay, next method we're gonna look into is, we will just remember these things. We will make something out of these methods. We will make some interesting application out of these things that we are doing today. Okay, random is done. Now is root, math dot root. Square root. Sorry. What is square root of 6? That's what you get. Okay. 320. You get an exact number of what is that square root. You can say math dot power of 2. How should have two numbers, huh? X and Y. 2 to the power of 6. 64. If 6 sixes are, sorry, 6 to the power of 2, or what is it? X, the base value. Okay, 2 is base, that exponent is 6. That will wake up. So if you give a number, it will add that power to that. 8 or 6. This 8 is a base, and I'm actually multiplying it 3 times. I mean, just making 8 to the power of 3, that is 500. 8 into 8, that is into 8, that is into 8. Okay, square out. And now I mean, I'll leave it to you guys. There's no point, I'm talking, I'm running through. You can do logarithms. Okay, you can find an exponent of a number with math.e, math.log n, log 2, log 3, pi. Math.pi is kind of data, gives you a pi value. So in geometry, if you are doing something to do with geometry and circles, if you ever need a pi, you can get the exact pi number using math.pi. You can say math.pi and it will gives you that value. So there are so many things. Okay, but math object is kind of box of chocolates. So you can use sine theta, so many things you can do with it. So go ahead, play with this thing. Okay, understand those numbers. For now, that is math object. Okay, I've touched based on very important ones and what they do. I encourage you to go through the rest of the methods and understand, logarithms and base value and the result of it. How do you pass on the base? How do you pass on exponent? How do you find the logarithm of a particular number? Okay, all those challenges you can resolve. Okay. Next thing that we want to understand is string. Okay. Let me clear this. Now. So first thing that we want to understand in strings is the most important thing is always concatenation. No questions, because most of the time I want to I create a template first, console.log, okay. Or for instance, I might put something in HTML saying the best performance, best season of game of Thrones in the third season. Okay, I would say I made this statement. Okay, and I'm sorry, no, I kind of very habituated to find. Okay, I get it. I get my output. Okay, why do I need to concatenate is, I might have my opinion that fifth season. Okay, I might have my own season, but somebody else will have his own season, so episode, whatever it is. So I don't want to make it generic. Okay, just wanted to create a string like this, and join the string, put that exact value in between, so I get the same value. Okay, I'll add some spaces here so that the spaces will be rendered. Okay, third season. If someone says fourth season, this will become fourth season. That is the reason to make this statement dynamic and powerful and usable, reusable. The statement is reusable now because I can reuse it for thousands of users with their own preferences. That is why we use concatenation to reuse certain statements. Okay. So this is one way of concatenating things. Okay. And if you wanted to add a new line in it, in a string, you could say /n. Okay. And if you log it, it will break that statement into new line if you put this thing. What if there is a string like this, in that string itself, probably it will give you new line instead of /n. So we do a lot of escape methods, so we will get that characters. But so if you have a T, is it T tab for tab? Okay, so if I want a tab after thrones, like a space, a tab space, you put /t in that string. So if you ever need a slash, okay, season or episode, you might say episode, right? So if I want a slash in it, I'll put 2 slashes and put epi. I log it, I get a slash in my string. Okay. If you put 2 slashes, you'll get 1 slash in a string. Okay. And if you wanted to add quotes to something that you want to highlight, you can do that. Slash a single quote and then slash a single quote. Now you will get your fourth or the word that is dynamically coming up in the quotes. If you could see in the quotes. And if you want, you can add double quotes to it. But if I do that, I get it. But if you put a double quote like this, it will throw me an error, because here the double quote is being treated as syntactical juncture, syntactical glue, because I'm cutting the string here. Now the thing doesn't know what is cutting the string. So now if you put a slash, that makes sense. Okay, the first double quote that I'm adding is for the double quote for the word, and the next double quote is for the exact string. Okay, now I get it. I put a space here. So it's a representation. It's a representation. You know, here if we can write multi-line string, we can create a multi-line string with /n. See, I'm creating. So let me clear this. So many things. Okay, this is how we can create multi-line strings, different puts. But should we have to go through with this much hassle? Should we need to understand this many things, and should we have to format like that? No, you don't have to. There is a better way to concatenate things, that is template literal. Okay, these are the ways that you can create a multi-line string. So now what we've created, a multi-line string, but we can create a multi-line string without these things or with these things. But there is a concept called template string literal. Sorry, in the morning I was kind of talking a lot about templates. That is came into me. So there is a string literal. So what you could do is, this simplifies a lot. Okay, that simplifies a lot. You put 2 backticks. Okay, backtick is the one that you usually find on the right hand on the keyboard. On the right hand side, the uppermost corner, you see a quote like symbol. Okay, that symbol we call it as backtick. Okay, and I'm going to copy this one. I think This is where it is. Okay, I like this. Let me put. Oh my God. Fine. So now instead of using this format, I'll use backtick syntax. Now I don't have to use this plus or equal to or anything, and don't make any complex things. Okay. Okay, it's just plain old thing. If this word is a variable that you want to impress as a, impression, you want to use as an impression, you put these characters around that variable. Now this will be become treated as variable. It is much simpler form of concatenating strings. See, it's way better thing that this plus symbol sometimes mess with the calculations. A lot of things happens, but this is the much better way and newest way of doing the concatenation. Okay, the syntax is between the string. If you ever wanted to declare a variable, $, open a flower brace or mustache brace, whatever you call it, I call it flower braces. I put a flower curly braces. I usually call it curly or flower braces randomly. So I say curly braces. Between the curly braces, you decide, you name your variable like this. Some random. And you define that variable. If you don't define that variable, you will receive some random is not defined. It is not at all defined. So you have to define it and put some random string. This some random string will definitely mess up the sentence, but this is just fun. And I remove this. I clear this. And I execute it. This is much better way. You can put a break. You can put a, this. You can put a double quote. You can put special characters, anything you want. But for a slash, you have to say 2 times. Okay. You can use multi-line string method, string expressions in this as well, but you don't have to, strictly follow everything. You get that everything out of the box if you are using template retailers. Template retailer, what is it? I'm always confused. Template retailer or retailer? Actually, it is template literal. It is template literal, not string literal. It's template literal only. Okay. Next is what? Certain properties. Guys, should I give a break? So I'm sorry, I'm trying to find. Is this clear at this till this point? A thumbs up, simple thumbs up would do good. Or if anyone, yeah. Thank you, Shravan. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. Okay. Any questions? No questions, I presume. Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. So next is there are certain, methods of string that you could use. Okay. 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 I just wanted to demo it with some nice little emojis, but I don't think I'll be able to find nice little. Okay, I find these guys. Okay, let me insert few emojis. Okay. Basically, you can, these things are string content. You can put it as string content and get it. Okay. I can do better. In fact, I can do better. I can find even better emojis. So with emojis, it makes a lot of sense if I'm talking. One, two, threes. Where can I find one, two, threes? Any chart lovers? Yeah, I got it. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I should have better prepared for this session, but excuse me. Okay. Okay, this is my string, you guys. So nothing else. I've created a string with these many characters. Okay. I don't know if this is gonna backfire or something, but I'm hoping that this is the biggest string that I can see. Yeah, I can see that string is being printed. That is not. If I say type of, it's a string. That's nice. So basically, how a string forms means each character, it will actually position them. Each character is a number to it. So fifth season of 0 is the first character, second character, third character, fourth character, like that. It actually creates number each character and creates a string, not like the entire string as a whole bunch. It doesn't treat like the entire string as one whole bunch and it don't cramp up and put it inside a container. Okay. The entire string, the biggest string is actually split into different positions and the each letter is stored in one position. So whenever you say I have 9 elements, 10 elements in it, starting from 0, when I say, I can say length of it 30 because I made a wrong assumption that this one thing is one character. No, each emoji is 3 characters. So let me remove these things and make it simple, plain, old string. I thought I would make interesting. I said as I
think you can use a console thing.
sorry.
You can use a console for position view.
No. Actually, the length itself giving me wrong. So for 9 characters, I'm getting 30 length because each emoji has a character of 3 to 4. So emoji explanation wouldn't work for me. So, but now I wanted to convey the message that each character is in different positions. So I got it corrected. So now the length of this fave season, my fave season, what is, I should properly call it name of initiative. The name of the initiative is Skibble and the length is, and it's a length, this is a 7 characters length. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters length? Yes, the length is 7 characters. So each letter is actually positioned in one one position. Okay. But the positioning starts from 0. The length is 7. Positioning starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 positions. So 6 indexes, length is 7. Any questions here? Length is 7 because the count of items inside a string are 7. But the positions starts from 0. So the first position is 0 and last position is 6. That's the story I'm trying to convey. So now I can say this console.log of 0. What is 0 of console.log? I'm looking at chat. If you wanted to ping, it's open. If somebody wants to be interactive. Okay, what is 0th index has the character called S. Zero index. The length is 7. The 0 index is S. The first letter is S. So I'm just for the demonstration purposes, I added that string there, but you don't have to. 1 is K. 2 is what? I. See, I'm going letter by letter. 0, 1, 2, 3, and you know it. If I increase, keep on increasing. If I say 7, undefined, there is no 7 in it. Okay, it is only 6 positions. 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 letters. Is it clear? So this is how you access each character. That is how. So you can, there are certain helping methods for you to use with the strings. That is to lowercase. So no matter whatever the case that is inside, like you have all capital or whatever you have in there, you'll get. If you say to lowercase, this method will convert that string into lowercase and give you. It does not change this. If you log it after, the to lowercase, so it will convert into lowercase and return at this point of time only. It will not change this value. It will only change the return value. So it will convert it and give you the converted version, but not, it won't change the original string. Original string remains the same, but if you call this method to lowercase, it will convert that original value into lowercase and give you value. This gives it to you, and you have to take it and use it. That's it. And you can say it to uppercase. Uppercase. It's already in uppercase, but if I say I remove it and I put it in all small case, you can say all uppercase. First all lowercase and then all uppercase. Okay. Next, you can select a certain characters from this position like this. If I wanted only to have from this string to this string to select, I just wanted to take out 3 words, 3 letters, you can do that. Console.log. You might consider these things are very simple, very small, very easy, but when it comes to usage, these things are important and the troublesome ones to understand. Substring. Okay. Substring is a method where you could say, I want to start the selection from 0 and continue till number 3 and give me that value. What is from 0 to 3? What is from 0 position to 3rd position? What is the whole word? It is SKI 0, 1.
I think it ignores the last position.
Yeah, until I said until 3. So until 3 means up to the 2 only. Okay. 0, 1, 2. And the 3rd position is no, not until 3 only. I said until 3 only. So that is 2. 0, 1, 2. Okay. You can select a particular portion out of your, you can take out a particular portion out of your string. And you can split your string. Okay. Let me say I have comma red, comma blue, comma green. There is a word. There is a common letter among these guys. There is a delimiter among these guys. So I can say split with what? Split with a comma. Okay. Now if you run, you will get an array. So it is splitting them and giving you an array of items with the separation. This is this position, this is this position, this is this position, and I split it and make an array and give it to you. In all these methods, this is not changing. The variable remains the same. Okay, the result of that method will be given it to you. So if you say you can split it with BL. Okay, BL. How many occurrences that you could see in this one BL? How many occurrences?
2.
2 occurrences. In Skibble there is a BL. In blue there is a BL. So we probably need to get 2 arrays without those 2 things. Skibble, BLE removed 2 things, and one another thing, that is blue, removed, and 3. So we get 1, 2, 3 portions. If 2 cuts, 3 portions, 3 slices will come. So you can split your string with a unique delimiter. Next is trim. So if you have lots of spaces around your string, okay, and it is annoying you, you can say console.log .trim. If you trim, if you don't trim, this is the value you are getting with lots of spaces on both the sides. With the trim, you're getting just that syntax. There's just that valid string. Okay, that is about trim. Okay, you can check if there is something included in the string. You can find something inside the string. Console.log string dot. If you created a string like this, and if you wanted to find something inside the string, includes, okay, red. If I just wanted to see if there is a word called red present in this one. Yes, true, it present. If I say orange, false. That orange is not included in the string. It is only the red that is included in the string. Now things will get serious, guys. Now you can replace something in a string. Okay. Console dot log. This is my string. I want to replace something. What I need to replace is the syntax. Just a second, guys. 1 second. Somebody got that. Okay, so you can replace a certain word with certain string with okay, so I wanted to replace the red with orange. Okay, I can do that. See, the red now become orange. You can find a particular word and replace it with the particular words. And so there is a huge subject involved. Like even today, even I try to learn that same thing because I was not so much interested about it. But if you wanted to learn and keep that handy, you can do that. Okay, let's say there is 2-3 blues. Okay, and you wanted to replace them, those instances, okay, in different places. Like okay, there is a concept called regular expressions. Okay, string regular expressions to find a specific set of characters or combination of characters in the string and replace it or do whatever you want. You can find a specific set of characters or a pattern, like select a word that starts with a capital letter and ends with a small letter or ends with a dot or ends with a select a letter that is in two quotes, and replace it with something else. You can do that. You can select it, you can find it, you can say match it, you can test it. But regular expression is a topic of another day. But let me give you a simple taste what it is. So I can say slash start it. This is a word I'm referring to. Match as a word globally. Then what is happening is you are asking it to replace all the blue words wherever it is with this regular expression to orange. Have I misspelled it? Spelling is same. Slash G. That's it. I'm replacing with. Am I logging it properly? Anywhere you see orange? No. Why it is like that? I think I have to find the last one. Orange. Okay, let me regex for finding a word. All instances a word. And all the occurrences are what? Yeah, that's fine. That works for me. What is a regex? Oh my god. Okay, I don't want to be greedy. Okay, this is syntax. So these characters confuse me a lot, guys, because you know that is the reason I never learned these things. So you, if you want to find out something, you have to say this much thing and blue. I don't know. I just give up with this, but whenever we are coming back to the regular expression, I'm sure I'm well aware of things and I'll be able to talk about them. I don't want to fight now. So few of the things that we can learn about is index of and search. We can search in the string as well. Basically, log my initiative search. I can search for one particular element. Okay, or if I search it, gives me the position where it started. Okay, the position where it started. Maybe 8th position it says. Yeah, it is starting at 8th position because this word is 7, 8. From 8th position, it is starting. It is found that one occurrence of that particular thing. Again, if you have regular expression, you can find all the words and get the indexes. That's a different part of story, but we will cover. So contact and search we covered, split we covered, trim we covered, includes we covered, index of is another thing. What is the time now? Oh, we almost at the time box. I didn't realize. Okay, I can find a particular index of particular string. It's more or like search only. Okay, if I wanted to find out the index of a particular word, skibble, I can get the same. It starts at 0, so it is starting at 0, and I know how many characters it is there. It is found, and I can find that word and I can replace it. So whatever I can do. So there is a list of elements, list of methods, guys. The list doesn't stop. Each year it gets added. So caret, if you are finding it particular, at number 3 item, what is that character you want to find? It gives you the character at number. So reverse edge. I know the position, but I don't know the character. So give me that position, I'll give you that character. Something like that. So that's about string, guys. We talked about comparational parameters in the beginning session, like what is equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, I believe. Do we see a need to go over those things again?
Replace all one.
Replace all. I think that's the word. I can do replace console.
At least we have did
Yeah.
last one.
Replace all. Replace all is not a method, I guess. So. Is it available?
Actually,
Yeah, I think it is.
let me.
Yeah.
In browser, it support replace, and in terminal, I think it replace all.
Okay, replace all. That's cool to know. Yeah, as I said, so many things, so many So many different things we could do with strings. So first thing we have to realize that each character is in its own position, occupying its own space. And we have to work with the space to find out that. So if you wanted to work with a particular word, you need to work with that index positions. First rule. Second, you can find a word, you can replace whatever you want to do with the string. You can form a string, you can destructure a string, you can replace something, you can make a string, you can add a string, you can remove a particular string from string. So you can do lots of things with the strings. So that's the kind of takeaway should be from this session. Numbers, we said, like what is Boolean? So I don't know. Boolean has it is, sorry,
True or false?
true or false. That's it. But if you look at the values, the values we want to talk about is nothing. There's nothing for the, as of methods to a Boolean, but Boolean, how you derive the Boolean, knowing how to derive the Boolean is very important. Like comparational operators, that, what is equal to, what is equal to, what is not equal to. We've discussed, okay, these things. If you want me to go over, I'll go over and we will kind of cover the bool. But if we already know them, but okay, I just wanted to cover one thing. Okay, one thing to be covered, that is Boolean JS. Okay, ternary and ternary up. First, let us go over ternary operator. So var variable. So now I have to take a decision. Let tree, like water the plant. Okay. There is a need to identify whether to water a plant or not. Okay. Okay. Let it is raining equals to false. If it is already raining, okay, I don't want to water the plant. Okay, right? So ternary kind of operator gives you that flexibility. If this guy is true, okay, if this particular statement is true, then it is true. The first operator, water the plant. If it is raining, what should we do? We should not water the plant. If it is not raining, if this is false, this is what the condition. You should water the font. So you could at least say don't water. Okay, so you could say go now. Save it. Now, if I console.log my water the plant, what will be the value? Node.
Go.
It's not raining, so you should go now and water the plant. It is not raining, it is false. So the false statement is this. The true, if it is true, the statement is this. That's kind of the ternary usage of the ternary statement. Okay, if you wanted to take a simple decision and have a value and move ahead, you better use a ternary statement. Like there are only two possibilities, and with those two possibilities, I only want two decisions to take. So you could use this statement instead of going through the hassle of if else and having it somewhere. And so this ternary statement makes it easy. to work with those kind of scenarios. So most of the time we get these scenarios, but most of the time we use these scenarios. So it's easy. And one more thing I just wanted to cover. We know a lot of things, but yeah, okay. Another thing that I wanted to cover is that and RR statement. Okay, and RR. I have another topic for today that I wanted to talk about, array methods. It's similar like string only, because string has different positions. Even array has different positions. I wanted to talk about arrays. Arrays will be I shouldn't say fast, but let me see if I can take another session, but I will wrap up at Boolean only. After this, I will wrap this session. You can ping by the time you can ping me, like whether you want a session this week, today or tomorrow, according to your choice. So I'll give you a poll. I knew I can create a poll in this meeting. In the chat, I believe. No matter whatever I do, I'm actually to everyone. Okay, let me finish what I'm saying and then I can go for poll. Sign into the web portal. Okay. What should be this start to 10. Here the student signing into wallet. Navigation menu, click on meeting. Yes. Click on the top of your scheduled meeting. Yes. This is my meeting. And then scroll to the bottom, quizzes and polls. Okay. Anyone sees quizzes and polls now here in this session? Quiz and poll. Or I can do this. I gotta do it again. Why take stress? Okay. Okay. So I just pinged you a link in the chat that will take to your poll. Just give your choice. Make sure, according to the majority, I'll schedule another meeting, but I need to complete this. So and operator. This is mandatory one. So LHS, RHS, both should be true. Then the complete statement is true. So this is kind of what it is. It is raining, and there is a condition like this. If it is raining and the plant is inside. Okay, I need to check two things here. It should be raining and the plant should be outside. Okay, for the same ternary operator, I'm only checking whether it is raining or not. I should also check if the plant is inside. Let's put true for this while. Okay, false, outside. If it is raining and the plant is outside, don't water it. Okay, if it is raining and the plant is outside, inside, go and water it. So I'm checking two things. Go now and water the plant because the plant is outside. Is it right? No. This is what the condition should be. So the plant should be outside, not inside. So not inside is good. So I'm saying it is not inside. It's not inside and it is not raining. So go now and plant it. So if I say true, plant is inside, and if the water is still, you need to go and water the plant because it is raining, but the plant is inside the house. Maybe I'm confusing a lot. I'll just stop this. I myself getting confused. I don't expect you to follow. So console.log. I'll make it very simple. 6 is greater than 8. This is a true statement. No, false statement. But if I wanted to make it true statement, it should be 12. That's fine. And if I put an undend and say 5 is greater than 2, one is true statement, the other one is false statement. The entire statement, sorry, it's not false, right? Now it is false. So if I'm saying one false statement out of either this or this, the entire statement value become false. But if you're using or operator, instead of using and operator, if you are using or operator, any of these statements, two statements true, the entire statement's value become true. Okay, this is, let me clear this. First, and then one statement is true and the other statement is false. So the entire statement is false. The same set of statements, but I use RR. That means if any one of is true, go inside. And you can chain them like this. You can put it here and put another undend. This statement and this statement, this will combinedly return a false statement. Entire statement become false. if I put RR, I believe both the statements should become true, because either of these statements true, the whole value become true. If both the values are true, the whole value become true. That's the difference between these two operators. That is the thing I wanted to cover. So I shared a link, and I just started the choice next session on arrays. When do you want? Click the link and make a selection now. Sunday, today, or next week, start of next week. You can make a selection now in that link. Click that link and make a selection. I also make a choice. For me, I guess how many responded? All 8 responded. That's good. So we want either today or tomorrow. So not next week completely. I agree. So let me stop the recording.